guys, welcome back to the Rob Pop YouTube channel, your #1 pit stop for all things Eurovision, and it's time to get our prediction hats on all over again, Psychic Sally, as we predict which songs are going to make it from semi-final 2. Yes, that's right, we're going all over again. If you saw the video I uploaded just a few days ago, I've already predicted the 10 songs that I think are going to qualify from semi-final 1, and it's time to do it again with semi-final 2. And trust me, this semi-final has given me a headache.
I can't.
Semi-final 1 was a breeze compared to this, but just know that in England right now it's about 23 degrees. I am sweating my absolute tits off, and working out who is going to make it from this semi-final is not making it any easier. If anything, it's making it worse. I have no idea which 10 songs are going to make it. Even up to now, I have literally just switched the order that I think is going to make it. This could be a complete mess, but if you've ever seen my prediction videos before, I often get them wrong anyway, so take this video with a pinch of salt, but also let me know down below which 10 songs you think are going to make it from this semi-final. I am not the crystal ball account. I am no Psychic Susan. I'm just a boy drinking a coffee in his apartment, getting very stressed out about something that he really cannot change the outcome over. But that is just Eurovision. Oh, I've spilled my coffee all over myself. But before we do begin, as ever, it would be amazing to remind you to subscribe to this channel. We're making our way so close to 1,000 subscribers at this point, I can practically smell it. Will we get there before I get to Basel in May? Probably not, but you know, who the hell cares? I love having you join me along for the ride. So if you enjoy watching these videos, if you enjoy having a laugh with Eurovision and having a camp old time, that's what you can expect from me. So give this channel a subscribe, give the video a like, hit the bell for notifications, comment down below, yada yada yada. You know the drill, you know what to do. So just do it. Fuck me, it's hot in here. Right, let's get going with the songs that I think are gonna make it from semi-final 2. Just as we did in the first video, I'm going to start off with the songs that I am 100% certain about, and I have 6 of those again, just as I did in semi-final 1. We're going to start off with Austria. This is a song that is predicted to win the whole competition. It's second in the odds. There is absolutely no doubt that JJ's Wasted Love is going to be so impressive to the public, just in the way that the likes of The Code was last year. When a vocal is bringing you perfection in the way that JJ is, it cannot be ignored. This song is dramatic, it gives you twists and turns, it is performed to perfection, and we don't know what they're going to do staging wise, but there is no way that they are going to balls this up enough to not make it through to the final. We're seeing Austria there on Saturday night. The second song that I'm certain of is Israel. We know that last year they absolutely stormed the second semi-final with Hurricane. I expect the same to happen again in a televote only semi-final. That doesn't speak to any of my particular political preferences, but this is a video where we're just being realistic and predicting who we think is going to qualify. Obviously, Israel are. New Day Will Rise will be in the final on Saturday night. The third song that I'm certain over, my favourite song of the year. You know I could go on and on and on about this song, and it is Finland's Erika Vikman with Ich Komme. This is closing the show, and we know that Erika is going to absolutely close the show out with the biggest of bangs, an absolute powerhouse of a performer. Fireworks, you name it, Erika is going to bring it. And this is one that is designed for the televote. We don't know quite how the jury are going to go for it, but we do know that even if the televote don't get behind it quite in the way that I want it to, they're definitely going to get behind it enough for it to finish top 5 in the semi-final, I would think. So there is no way that this isn't making it, and the final will be all the better for it. I'm watching the live show on Tuesday. I'm actually in the arena, the first time I've ever been to an actual live show. I've been to like afternoon and evening previews before, but God knows I'm going to be waving that flag so hard for Finland and screaming when, not if, but when they make that final. The fourth song I'm certain of is one that has been racing up the odds in the last few weeks, and that is Czechia with Adonis's Kiss Kiss Goodbye. I've always thought this was a certainty anyway. I've always said this song kind of gives me Break a Broken Heart by Andrew Lambrou. That was pretty safe as a qualifier just 2 years ago. This is safe now. Adonis is a very competent performer. We've seen in the pre-parties that the dance break absolutely works. He can perform the hell out of it. He can dance well, he can sing well. The song is just a good enough pop song. There are a lot of females in this semi-final, and I really think that Kiss Kiss Goodbye will probably finish about 5th or 6th in this semi-final, but there is no way but it doesn't make it. It's just got that safe radio qualifier in the same way that Netherlands would in the first semi-final. That vibe written all over it. This is making it. The fifth country that I am certain about is Malta. Miss Mariana Conte serving, and I think she's going to be serving you a certain qualification. I know that it seems odd to give like a country like Malta a certain qualification. We know that they are a small country and it is harder for smaller countries to pick up the votes, but we have seen in the past that it's not too difficult in the semi-finals to do that, or it's not as hard. Like Destiny absolutely smashed her semi-final just a few years ago. Then in the final, it kind of all falls apart. That is my concern for Mariana as well, that in terms of making it from this semi-final, this is one of the biggest talking points of the whole year. This has been debated about on news channels. Everybody knows about this song. Whether they've got technology to block out the crowd shouting "can," I have no idea. If they don't, that creates an even bigger talking point, and I really hope they don't. If that is aired, people on Twitter are going to be talking about this, the exercise balls. Mariana has charisma in abundance. Whatever happens to it in the final, even if it underperforms, as I fear it may, it's getting there, and that's all that matters for Malta, who are on a streak of non-qualifications. This is getting them back. Good luck, Mariana. And the sixth and final song that I personally am certain of is Australia. That is Gojo's Milkshake Man. The odds have this about 8th below some that I don't think are a certainty, but I think this song is an absolute stomper. I already know the stage show for this is going to be batshit. I just know that Gojo is going to go balls to the wall. We've seen from his social media the way that Gojo is, his presence, his charisma. This song is not to be ignored. It's going to open the show with a bang. People are going to remember the Milkshake Man. They're going to be talking about this horny man in the 69th edition of Eurovision Song Contest. And I really think this is a dark horse. I think this could finish top 10 in the final. I don't know if I've seen many people talking about that, but I think this is going to be a really big success for Australia. They're very good at sending like radio pop songs. This is one of the most daring entries they've ever sent, but I think daring in a way that the public absolutely will be all over. They'll be talking about this on Twitter. It's just calling out for that kind of attention, and that kind of attention is what gets you through these televote semi-finals. Australia, you're coming back to the final. I just know it. So those are the 6 songs that I am certain of. Now I'm going to move to 2 songs that I'm like 70%, 80% likely are going to make it. With that, we're going to start with Lithuania. That is Katarsis' Tavo Akis. Again, I mentioned with Poland in the first semi-final. Lithuania do benefit from an element of diaspora. We do see this every year, but diaspora will not get a song through that stands no chance. We've seen Poland and Lithuania fail to qualify in years gone by because the song simply wasn't good enough. However, this song really does stand out. I mean, there is nothing that I can even think of in Eurovision history which goes to this kind of grungy aesthetic the way that this song does. It really is in its own lane as far as that is concerned, and I think that it's sold in just the right way by convincing performers who are really so engrossed in their performance style. They're so sold in their performance style that I think this will make it. Because it is an unknown as a genre, I guess we don't know for sure whether the public are going to go for it. That's why, for me, it's not a certainty. There is a possibility that this kind of moodiness, this angstiness, it could alienate the public. We know that the public like rock entries, but those rock entries often come with a sense of fun. This is the antithesis of fun. This doesn't want to be fun. The whole point of this is to have that kind of moody 90s like garbage kind of feel. Garbage the artist. That's not a description of the song before you all come for me. We don't have a precedent to go off for whether the public will enjoy this or not, but my feelings are that it stands out enough that that's the kind of thing that will get the public vote along with the diaspora. So I do think this will make it for Lithuania. There are 1 or 2 question marks in my mind, which is why it wasn't certain. But I think if this didn't make it, I would be shocked on Thursday night. I would be shocked. The 8th song I predicted qualify is Greece. Now, there are questions that I have over this song too, more so than with Lithuania. I worry about what they're going to do with this staging wise. I wasn't in love with the staging that they had at the national final. We do have past precedent for knowing that Greece are not the best at staging these days. They absolutely threw Victor Venerkos to the wolves. We know that with the likes of like Yana Terzi, that song was buried by awful staging. There is concern that if they don't really work this staging out, then Esther Marta could fall flat too. It could be too experimental, that the staging doesn't bring it all together in a way that the public find palatable. I do have concerns over this. There is a world where this doesn't make it on the Thursday night, and I'm like, I get why this happened. But ultimately, I do think the song makes enough of a statement. It's got a good running order position. I think Claudia is a superb vocalist in a way that kind of thing pushed Theodora over the line last year, and Raven. I think when the vocals are fantastic enough, sometimes it can outweigh the shortcomings, and I think Claudia is such a great vocalist that really does help. And the song is fantastic, that when I weigh all these things up, I do think this is likely to make it. I just do have concerns for this. I'm rooting for it, I really hope it can make it, and I really hope that the staging comes together, and I see the rehearsals and I'm like, you can breathe a sigh of relief, they've got it together for Miss Claudia, okay, we're fine, we can breathe. Crossing my fingers, slightly concerned, but Greece I do think will make it. Okay, here's where we get to the point where I am completely and utterly stressed out. I mean, if you look at the odds right now, they are clearly as clueless as I am. Their prediction at the moment, they have Serbia going through in 9th with a 60% chance of qualifying, Luxembourg going through with a 58% chance. That takes us all the way down to 14th, which is Armenia for them, which they have given a 40% chance. So it is very narrow between 6 songs in their eyes, and I completely agree. That is my exact feelings. I know that ESC Gabe has done a video about this already, that the competition for that final spot in semi-final 2 is one of the hardest fought in years. In my opinion, this is not about a final spot, this is about a final 2 spots. People were talking about Luxembourg like they were a certain qualifier. I don't think that's necessarily a certainty at all, and I think it's all to play for these 2 final spots. So, what have I picked, you ask? Stop talking, Rob. The 9th song that I predicted to qualify is Denmark. That is Sissal's Hallucination, and I know what you're saying. You really think this is the one that's going to break Denmark's non-qualification streak? To that I say, yes, I think it is. This semi-final has a lot of crazy in it, a lot of unknown. Finland are bringing you something very unique and a bit wild and crazy. Malta, again, a little bit crazy. Australia, a little bit crazy. Lithuania, something we've never heard before at Eurovision. There are a lot of countries in this particular semi-final which are doing things that are a bit left of field. But when that happens, in my opinion, you tend to see that a certain section of the public are swayed towards songs that feel familiar. For example, my mum will probably not react to songs like Australia or Malta at all. She will think they're trash, she will think that they're silly. A song like this comes along, sung by an impeccable vocalist. Sissal is one of the best vocalists in this semi-final. The song is a pop dance banger. It kind of gives you like Loreen tease. It kind of has that familiarity where you feel like you've heard it before, but it's done very well in my opinion. It's a really fun, upbeat pop song with a hook. Hello, hallucination, which sticks in your head and will get lodged in there. I just think there is enough going in this corner for people who aren't after the crazy to vote for. I mean, what else could they vote for in this realm? You've got a girl singing about a dead dog in the sky. You've got 6 fairies singing in Latvian. You have a Luxembourgish girl who can't decide whether she wants to be a doll or a sex siren. This song is straight down the line, and I know that is why people think this isn't going to make it, but in my opinion that works in its favour. Not everything has to be wild and crazy, and not every Eurovision voter wants something wild and crazy. They like a really strong performer with a really good song, and in my opinion, this fits that brief, and it's going to work for those people who like radio hits. And I think that is what will push this song through. If Sissal was a less strong vocalist, I'd be doubtful. But we know that she's self-aware. We know that she knows that the staging needs to be improved. And I just think she's going to give this the oomph that it needs. She's going to give it an absolute belter of a vocal. And that will push this song over the line. Maybe it's just partly because I'm rooting for Denmark and partly rooting for Sissel because she's an absolute hoot. Who knows? But I'm going for Denmark. Right, what the fuck do I do with the 10th qualifier? I have gone through every single one of these countries. Luxembourg, Serbia, Armenia, Latvia, Ireland. I could give you reasons why all of these songs could make it and could not make it. The bookies, they think Serbia and Luxembourg are taking those final 2 spots. Well, I disagreed with them. I have not gone for either of those songs. I've actually gone for the song that they currently have placed in 14th. And the song that I'm predicting as the 10th qualifier is Armenia with Park's Survivor. Why, you ask? Why is Mr. Survivor Staying Alive there going to make it? It's a tough one. Ultimately, what it came down to in my brain was, this is a very female-heavy semi-final, and it leaves some of the other females, in my opinion, sort of clambering around for the rest of those points. And that is ultimately what led me to thinking, I feel like a male is going to get that 10th spot. Obviously the bookies think that's going to Serbia. Part of me thinks that song is a little bit too saccharine, a little bit too dated, that I just think that a lot of people will be put off by it, especially if they follow a similar staging to what they had in their national final. And part of me just thinks that a lot of women watch these shows and Park is a really attractive man performing that kind of like Imagine Dragons kind of rock song with a raspy voice. He's the exact sort of person who would have won X Factor over the sassy pop singing female. Possibly a niche reference, but that is how Park feels to me. And I just feel like this is the sort of song that your families, your 40 or 50-year-old women will get behind. An attractive man singing a rock song about empowerment in a sexy vest, giving it some oomph, the guitars are going, it brings you energy, it brings you fire. And I just feel like that it stands out just that little bit more than Prince for that alone. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe voters aren't that shallow, but I feel like we have past experience to go off that being an attractive man does help you get through. And that's not to say Prince is not an attractive man. I mean, the man is like Jason Momoa. He's clearly going to get a lot of female love as well, but I just feel like a pop rock performed song, Imagine Dragons style, by an attractive man is more likely to get the votes than a Disney ballad. I don't know, I've run circles around myself trying to work this out, but I just keep going back to Armenia and I just feel like it is a televote grabber. I think the jury would probably kill this if it got to the final. I could see this finishing like bottom 2 or 3 if it made the final, but there's something in me that can just see this getting enough votes to make it, and that's why I've gone for Armenia. So that brings me to the songs that I didn't put through. I mean, I've pretty much just spoken about Serbia and why I think they won't make it instead of Armenia, why I think Armenia will take their place. I just think that Armenia have a slightly slicker, sexy male package, a slightly more up-to-date package, a slightly more votable for package, whilst I think Mila may make some people cringe a little bit, but he does have better vocals than Park. This could make it, I don't know. As I said, I've gone back and forth on this so much. Just before this video was filmed, I had Serbia in and Armenia out. I literally just swapped them out at the last minute, so look, Serbia could easily make it. They often find a way to sneak through. I mean, they've done it for the last few years now. They've just found their way through to the final and they could easily do it again. It would not surprise me. But I've just decided this is slightly going to miss out. The other song that the bookies currently think is going to make through, which I predicted not, is Luxembourg. I don't know why I don't think this will make it. I mean, we've seen from the likes of like Zoe for Austria in the past and Leonora of Denmark that the public do tend to vote for these cutesy girls doing their cutesy songs in their little dolly dresses, but I am yet to be able to see that the staging for this is going to be great. I found it very confusing at the Luxembourg national final. I felt like the performance wasn't great, it didn't quite know what it wanted to be, and I'm just not sure if they will have fixed that problem. I still feel like the vibe of, I'm a pretty little doll ready for the Junior Eurovision Song Contest and now I'm a sex siren. I just don't know if it quite works. I don't know if the vocals will be strong enough. I don't know if Luxembourg have enough people who will, give them a couple of handful of points that just help them over the line. All of these things matter when it's going to be close. We know it's going to be close. And I think there's just a few too many things that I think will put the public off, which the other songs don't have. But I don't know if this song is just a little bit too infantile. And I just kept going back to that, and I just thought, I don't know if this is going to make it when the likes of Hallucination feel mature and they feel like they know who they want to be. So Sally's confident, she's bold. I don't know if Laura Fawn does. I don't know if she gives in the same way, and that's what made me put this out over the likes of Denmark. But again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before, and that could be the same here. And that goes for Ireland too. I just thought that this song didn't feel professional enough. I mean, Like a Party is one in my top 10 of the year. I think you all know this is my guilty pleasure, and I would love to see this song make it through to the final. It's in my top 5 of this whole semi-final. But I still see that they're going for this angle with the silver shirt and trousers, the tinfoil looking outfit. She's got her brother still going to be on stage. I see nothing to indicate that they've worked out how to make this stylish yet cheesy. I definitely want them to go all out with the 90s vibe. I definitely think it should have an Aqua Venga Boys feel to match the song, but they've got to do something with it to not make it feel cheap. And there is nothing that I've seen in the pre-parties and the marketing of this song to indicate that they're in the know, that they're in the loop, that they kind of know what to do to get in with the public. And ultimately, I've just got a feeling they're not going to work the staging out, and the whole thing is going to feel too unprofessional in a sea of females like Erica and Mariana, who are just going to get it that bit more. And then that brings us to Latvia. God, I would love this song to make it as well. I mean, Tautomaitis is Berman Lime. The very first time I watched it, I thought that it was remarkable. I thought that the stage performance was such a spectacle, and I have no doubt that will be the same in Basel. I have no doubt over their stage performance. That's one thing that I don't doubt, which I do in some of the others. I just think this song is going to be too difficult to vote for on a first listen. Sometimes, unless a foreign language message is sold in a way that either feels heartfelt or romantic, or it tells a story in a way that like other countries can understand, that can help. But I'm not sure if the message of this song is immediately obvious. You have to remember, the voting public are not going to sit there and they are not going to research a song before they vote for it. They are shallow. They vote for what they see on first watch and they just go with it. And I think that this song, whilst it deserves to qualify, it has too many layers that people won't get or won't be able to connect to immediately. But I just don't think it lends itself to qualifying for a Eurovision, which is all about first impressions. That's the reason I don't think this song will make it. But if this was a shock for the second year in a row for Latvia, I would be jumping up and down screaming, because I really am rooting for this song to be a surprise. I just feel like there is too much that the public won't get about this, sadly. That then brings us to the two songs that I have classed as like a no-hoper, very unlikely to qualify. We'll start with Montenegro, and this is a real sad one. I mean, I wish I loved this song more. Montenegro have returned this year, and we really want them to stick around. I'm not sure that Nina Zizic's song is the one that's going to get them through to a final to convince them to stick around. I hope that won't matter. I'll hope they will stay regardless. But this song just is a bit of a run-of-the-mill ballad, albeit it is performed exceptionally. Nina is a great vocalist, but this second semi-final really just has so many standout moments, and not just up-tempos. There are some really good ballads and introspective moments in this semi-final that even though Nina's vocals are fantastic, this song isn't memorable enough on first listen, especially from the death slot of second. There are plenty of these slower songs that follow it that just make you forget about this in an instant. And I just really struggle to see a way in which amongst 16 songs in this particular semi-final, many people are racing to vote for this song. That then brings us to Georgia. I mean, for me, this is one of the weakest songs of the whole year. It doesn't have a lot going for it. If Montenegro aren't going to make it with a stronger vocalist, with, in my opinion, a stronger ballad, then there is even less chance for Georgia, because I think this has even less positives in its corner. I don't know that a lot of people are rooting for this. It doesn't feel like a fan favourite or anything. It just doesn't have hardly anyone rooting for it. This is a strong semi-final, and I just do not think this song is strong enough to make it in this field. Oh my days. I am sweating my absolute tits off after that. I don't even know if I agree with myself, so if you don't agree with me, I will not be surprised. But I'm just going to quickly recap the 10 songs that I think are going to qualify from this semi-final. I've gone for Austria, Israel, Finland, Czechia, Malta, Australia, Lithuania, Greece, Denmark, and Armenia. Those are my predictions, but please let me know down below which 10 do you think are going to make it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I would love to know. Well, that does bring me to the end of this video. We are getting so close now to actually being in Basel. We are literally just a week away, so I've got very much no time to edit this video. So I will say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me throughout all of these videos in the run up to Basel. I may have 1 or 2 more to come. I love you all for supporting me. Sending so much love to you all out there in Europe. Have a wonderful Eurovision. Good luck to you all, and good night.